Welcome to channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrate to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to our channel and turn on a little bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one getting all the insight. Now today is the 6th of July 2021. Now yesterday we have received the Western Australia has announced their new policy for the financial year of 2021 and 22, just right before New South Wales. So we thought New South Wales will be the first one announcing their new policy, but looks like Western Australia somehow suddenly, surprisingly, they generally are the last announced state, but this year they're taking a priority of announcing their new policy. So let's jump into it and check it out, how their new policy may affect you, or perhaps it will be your opportunity to actually migrate to Western Australia. So let's jump into it and have a look. All right, so the latest news, as you see, it's the 5th of July right there. Now, how you can navigate this website, just to let you know, you might want to Google WA, stands for Western Australia and migration, and then on the left hand side of the navigation bar, where you can see these general stream WASMOL, schedule 1 and schedule 2, and also the graduate stream requirement. Okay, so that's the general detail there. You might want to click on those one to navigate through, but what I'm going to do in this video, I'm going to take you through all of it. So first of all, let's have a look at the news. So the new requirement expanded occupation list, that's great, because in the past Western Australia has always been their occupation list is always the narrowest and the least. Now it's good that they expanded. Thank you. Okay, so the Western Australia skill migration occupation list, WASMOL, it's very hard to pronounce it, but anyway, WASMOL is how they like their occupation list to be called, which lists occupation available for WA state nomination through general stream, has expanded include schedule 1 and schedule 2. So general stream is actually open up for both onshore and offshore, and the obviously graduate list is for the international student who had studied in Western Australia, perhaps most likely to be in Perth, because that's predominantly most of the colleges and university located. Updated requirement available for applicant for general stream and occupation list on schedule 2. This includes the following, okay? Meeting the departmental requirement for the subclass, or pretty sure they need to do that, and meeting the minimum English requirement. We'll take a look at what the English requirement will be or has become. Previously it was, minimum is at least IELTS 7, but we'll see how it goes with the new criteria. And have a 12-month full-time employment contract. Now bear in mind, only a contract is required. You don't have to prove with a 12-month employment already being there, so you don't have to prove that you already being employed, but you need to have a 12-month contract there. The existing requirement of general screen will apply to applicant occupation or WASMOL schedule 1, and the graduate stream requirement remain unchanged. So it's the graduate stream that doesn't change. Let's get into the detail of its occupation. So okay, the first one is the occupation list. Now you might want to you can actually find this within navigating through. Now, just really do not like how the Western Australia present themselves with the website, because it's been there for ages and they never update the actual. You got to make it more modern. Anyway, applicant who have nominated occupation identify them in WASMOL or GOL, G-O-L, that's a graduate occupation list. That's for all the international students graduated in Perth may be eligible for WA state nomination using one of the following. Okay, so of course there's subclass 190, that's most preferred because that gets you into permanent residency straight away, or perhaps a regional 491 provisional visa that gets you 5 years of visa, as long as you work for once you get it, you work for 3 years with a minimum wage of 53,900 per year. You will be able to transfer into permanent residency under subclass 191. Now, WASMOL is available for applicant who intended to use general stream. So there are two streams. So there's general stream and the graduate stream. So general stream is for anyone else but people who actually study and graduate in WA. Okay, so that include people studying in Melbourne, people studying in Brisbane, people studying in Sydney, or people who are actually offshore outside of Australia. That's all general stream. So general stream does have two schedules, schedule 1 and schedule 2. Okay, and that's we'll take a look at it. And the GOL, GOL, is for people who actually study in WA and graduate there, and to determine eligibility and consult with the criteria state nomination. So we'll take a look on how that all confer with. So noting of the using occupation list, occupation may have the following status. It may be available, it may be under review, it may be closed. So that's pretty simple. Available means it's available. Under review means it's not available, and closed means it's done. No more. Okay, under review generally being, the cap has been met, and they probably will see if they need more of this kind of occupation. If not, they'll become closed. If yes, it'll become available. Okay. Regional WA only. Candidate nominating occupation that are designated regional Western Australia only in the general and graduate stream must provide evidence of job, contract, employment located in the Commonwealth Category 3 regional centres, which have the postcode of the following: 6041 to 6044, 6084 to 6207, 6213 to 6215, to 6537, and 6560 to 6770. So basically that excludes the city of Perth from what I can see here. Anyway, the occupation identified in the occupation list do not relate to any specific job vacancy. So it doesn't mean there is a lot of job vacancy. There is a misunderstanding that people see occupation, they thought there's a lot of vacancy out there. It does not represent the guaranteed job, but rather identify occupation that are considerable priority for the state. Okay, and that stays the same with the whole every different other state as well. This is actually a very good explanation. It is recommended that you research your employment opportunity, and state nomination applicant will have to compete with all the potential employee in Western Australia. So obviously, you need to get somebody who, an employer, willing to provide you a 12-month contract. That's the sole purpose of it. For the occupation require licensing registration, obviously, you need to get that done. Okay, so WASMOL Schedule 1. Okay, now I'm not going to read all of them, but have a look. Basically, the Schedule 1 is predominantly and mostly medical and health occupation and professionals. So starting from doctors all the way down to nurses. Okay, so that's basically all the Schedule 1, and they are all available. None of them is closed, obviously, because it's the first day of the new financial year. It can't be closed, and some of them is available for regional WA only, and rest of it, only dentists, you cannot go 190. All right, dentists, you have to go 491. They don't provide 190. Don't know why. Anyway, there's always disadvantage. If you've seen my video previously talking about dentists and going through skill assessment, it's horribly complex. Anyway, I don't know why they are disadvantaging dentists, but you see that they are still disadvantaging dentists. So if you're a dentist, you want to be in Australia, make sure you have the time to spend. Anyway, okay, let's move on. Now, Schedule 2 for the WASMOL. That's all the general professionals. So accountants, again, I'm not going to go through every one of them. These includes accountants, programmers, draftsperson, bakers, bricklayers. You might want to go into the detail yourself. There's chef, okay, it's available. Childcare center manager, database admin, cook, it's available as well, trainer. Now make sure I'm reading through, for skill assessment, again, you need to get for general skill migration, you need to get skill assessment mandatory. You need to get that done, okay? So before you get that done, checking out a list is really not much of help. So we can see a lot of traits and ICT, so it's not much in there. A lot of tradesmen, occupation in there. And let's moving downwards, motor mechanic, pastry cook, plumber, software application programmers, engineers, system admin, vet, web developers. So it's actually quite a large chunk of occupation is wide open, and every one of them is all available. So again, that's the beauty of it. That's what we want. Okay, that's what we want. Now, graduate occupation. Now, unfortunately, I'm not too sure why the WASMOL, the general stream, you can have accountant available 190 and 491, but if you study and you have graduated as an accountant in Perth, in WA, I'm sorry, they don't like it. They want accountant to go through general stream, so you cannot go into graduate stream. I don't know why. Probably they just want to push all the accountants to compete each other and compete internationally with anyone and everyone else in Australia, and even people not in Australia. I think that's what they want to do. That's what they want to achieve. Let's check out some of them is closed. So pilot, architect is closed. Barrister is closed. Commodity trader is closed. Educational psychologist is closed. So I'm not too sure why they do that. I mean, if you study and graduate in Perth, you can still lodge through general stream, but you cannot just go through graduate stream anymore. And if that's true, why do they still have those occupation there? They may not. They may just remove them. Don't know why. Okay, horse trainer is closed. Okay, management accountant closed. So all the accountants closed. Let's check out some engineers. Primary school teachers closed, secondary school teacher closed, solicitors, all the legal professions are closed, teachers all closed, tax accountant, that's all closed. So only a few. I mean, who can actually study sheep farmer and graduated? And I mean, how many of them actually? It's just gonna be very rare. I'm not too sure why they do that. Okay, so all the only vocational education teacher is available. Welfare worker closed and youth worker closed. So that's what it is. And what do I have over here? This is for the general stream. So let's check out the Schedule 2 requirement for WA WASMOL. Okay, so again, all applicant currently reside has to be in Australia, in Western Australia for WA nomination. Currently residing in Australia, so it doesn't have to be in WA. Okay, you need to provide one of the following of not relevant. So your current lease, and just show you're living in Australia. If you're living in Australia but subject to Section 48 bar, you're not eligible. Okay, and meeting the English requirement. And this is Schedule 2. Okay, so the Schedule 2. Still same that minimum you need to get IELTS 7 across 4 bands, and competent English is 6. So why do they have 2 different tables? If you're in passport of UK, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Ireland, you don't need to show that. You need to show provision English for table 1 if your occupation is in manager or professional. So that means managerial role. So that's ENSCO Group 1 and Group 2 and professional. And if you are otherwise, so that's all the tradesperson required to be at least IELTS 6 across 4 band. Providing contract, you need to have a contract with full time at least 12 months, and every week at least 35 hours. And the contract obviously required to have names and blah blah blah, all that detail there. We'll also assess whether appropriate salary, so you make sure the salary is meeting the local standards and national standard. Employment contract subject to sole traders. Okay. Occupation for designated regional only. Candidate nominating occupation that designed regional Western Australia only. The general and graduate stream must provide evidence of job contract and location defined by the Commonwealth. So again, I've read out all that postcode previously, and you have to have the money. Okay, so one person 20 grand, couple 30, and with the additional kids 5,000 each. So that's what it is here. Let me just come back here with the schedule 1 and also the graduate stream. I think that's the same as before. So schedule 1 is schedule 2. Schedule 1, you need to prove that you're living in Australia as well. Let's see if there's any differences here. The English requirement is the same. Okay, so professional and managers, you're required to have IELTS 7. So for example, restaurant manager, now that's a manager, you need to get IELTS 7. But if you're a chef, although the qualification wise is different, then you're only required to have IELTS 6 to meeting the requirement. So meet work experience required. So if you're a schedule 1, the only additional thing is that you need to have these experiences. You must be able to claim at least 5 points of work experience. That means you need to have, after you get a post skill assessment, after you get a positive skill assessment with that date, and then additional 1 year of work experience, so then you will get that additional 5 points. So at least 1 year Australian work experience, and then you still need to get that 12-month contract there. So that's the hard part. Now graduate stream, meeting the English, it's the same still. Okay, I'm not gonna repeat that. And you need to have that. Obviously, you need to have the study in Western Australia, in WA, at least 2 year study, and that's the only difference. Obviously, if you go in graduate stream, you obviously graduated from WA. The language wise, evidence you need to provide awards and things, meeting work experiences. You need to have at least 6 months of Australian work experiences in nominated occupations. So again, that's the hard part. So let's conclude with a summary. Basically, expanded the occupation list with WASMOL is great, but if you're a graduates in WA, there's actually still a lot of occupation being closed, and not be able to access to it. So if you're a graduate, you need to get skill assessment and post skill assessment at least 6 months of work experience in order to access to graduate stream. Anywhere else, anywhere in Australia, you can access to general stream. So general stream is actually expanded. So they see what WA seeks. They want people from different parts of Australia and of course internationally to actually move to Perth, to actually move to Western Australia. And the schedule 1 stays the same. You're required to demonstrate at least 1 year work experience post skill assessment. Now schedule 2 is better because it doesn't have to have a work experiences, but all of the stream required to have a 12-month contract there. So if we go back to actually check out the schedule 2, these are the let's go into the actual occupation list. So schedule 2 is actually the expanded occupations, which includes a lot of different other ones rather than just focusing on health and medical professions. Anyway, what is your thought? More than welcome to leave a comment right down below, and I'll see you next video. Goodbye.